Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh, talking about different things happening in Greater West Bloomfield, starting with an art exhibition in West Bloomfield, celebrated Michigan's natural beauty through the eyes of artists with special needs. The Soul Studio Michigan Art Show invited the community to explore the state's landscapes and iconic landmarks as seen through the lens of these incredibly talented creators. I went inside the opening event at the Friendship Circle's Farber Center to explore.
I made all kinds of Michigan things on this artwork. We know that Tim Allen went to see Home High School in Birmingham, Bob Seger's from Detroit, Lansing's the capital of our state, and the Mackinac Bridge is listed in the key.
I love deer. I like to look at them and see them and keep looking at them when we're on the street. I look around. Do I see a deer? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't.
At the heart of West Bloomfield, the Dresner Soul Studio opens its doors to an exhibition that captures the essence of Michigan through unique artistic expressions.
The exhibition, the theme is Michigan, and we chose that theme because around the studio, I hear all the time from our artists, this place feels like home to be here. And so it's like, that's great. And thinking about what home do we all share in common, both our artists and the community, it's Michigan. Let's have fun with it.
Artists with special needs have poured their perspectives into pieces that reflect the state's natural beauty, iconic landmarks, and cherished moments. Artist Ari Chekin explains more about his connection.
I was born and raised around here because I was born at U of M in Ann Arbor, and I grew up and went to see Home High School, and now I work at Beaumont/Corwell Royal Oak.
Because I love deer. I like to look at them, and I like to watch them when they're outside. When they come up to the window, I kind of wave my hand, and maybe they'll see me.
Featured artist Karen Martell tells us more about the process of creating her artwork.
It's a piece of canvas, and I took the paint and made a design, and then I had a pencil and I kind of drew the deer out, and then I did the antlers and the bird and everything like that.
This event not only showcases talent, but also fosters community, inclusion, and a shared appreciation for the diverse stories that make up Michigan's tapestry. I asked artists and organizers what they want patrons to take away from their visit here.
The shows we do like this, it's such a big impact for our artists. So here today, this is a chance when all of our artists can come through. We have families, we have staff's families, we have community members coming in and get to see kind of the spirit of the studio, which is so hard to describe and explain. You got to be here to feel the magic. And so it's so meaningful for our artists to see that people are coming in. People want to see their work. They want to know what's going on. It's a big deal.
I want them to feel that they know lots of things about our state.
I want them to feel happy when they see it and to take it home and buy it.
And for more information on the exhibition and other events, visit Friendship Circle on their website, friendshipcircle.org, for more information. Mark your calendars for a day to enjoy watching the stars. Astronomy in the Park is returning to Keego Harbor this summer. That'll be June 27th specifically. Keego Harbor Parks and Recs is working in collaboration with the Oakland Astronomy Club for a wonderful night of stargazing and a laser constellation tour of the sky on Friday, June 27th. That's 8:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. at Rose Sorter Park. You want to park next to park right next to City Hall for anyone who isn't familiar. Complete with a presentation and question and answer for the event as well. And of course, weather is permitting and the date will be rescheduled should rain start to pose a factor as well. We'll continuously keep you updated with that event. West Bloomfield officials want to speak with you, the citizens, and Greater West Bloomfield residents will have the chance to ask any questions and concerns they may have at next Saturday's Breakfast with the Board event. It's taking place on May 31st, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. West Bloomfield Town Hall. West Bloomfield residents are instructed to come hungry as officials like Jonathan Warshay, Debbie Binder, and Mike Patton will be there to communicate directly with the township and hear directly what residents have to say. So please come with your notes and anything that you want to voice your opinion about right here in our community. Recently, a local retirement community brought the magic of prom night to some of the senior residents right here in Keego Harbor. Our very own Jake Schaff has the story.
It's the time of year for everyone to start prepping for their senior prom, but it's not just high schoolers that are having a night to remember. As Magnolia by the Lakes in Keego Harbor recently held their first ever senior prom for the residents of the community, and high school students from Orchard Lake St. Mary's came out to escort the seniors for a night they will never forget.
Well, this is our first and only prom, first prom that Magnolia by the Lakes has ever had. A lot of these people have not ever been to prom. It was my idea to have it, so it was on their bucket list. So instead of celebrating Mother's Day, we celebrated senior prom.
I had never been escorted by anyone, anywhere in the past, except at my wedding. But it was very nice, thoughtful.
I think it is fantastic. I haven't been to a senior prom for 65 years, and this is not quite all over again, but it's a lot of fun.
What do you see from the high schoolers that have come out here tonight to just accompany you and accompany all the other seniors?
I thought that was a fantastic idea. You know, give the seniors, the old people, us old people, a taste of the young, and then the young people that I've met are just so friendly and courteous and inquisitive. So it's a good moment.
It's just so much fun to be able to help out and escort the seniors to their dance and see how much fun they have and see them dress up. It brings joy to me to see that on the other people's faces and like give them their corsage or their boutonniere.
I hope they're able to appreciate like the fun that everyone has, that like both old and younger kids can have a good time together and like bond.
What is it about tonight, like the dancing or the food or just the conversations? What are you looking forward to the most?
I think conversation, like building like a connection with the older community and like making those bonds.
Well, it's a good interchange. They learn, we learn. And we've had interface with St. Mary's in the past for various things, activities here on site. They're like grandchildren for most people.
My goal here at Magnolia is to make these seniors live the best life they can, and to me, it's giving back to the community, and I absolutely love doing that for them. And this is epic. Like I said, we've never had a prom here before. So it's going to be good conversation, good memories, good food, and just a lot of friendships and memories to be made tonight.
What do you hope everybody takes away from a night like this?
That they had a good time, and they really appreciate what the staff here does at Magnolia, because it is fantastic.
Everyone is happy tonight, and it's all thanks to the incredible work of everyone at Magnolia by the Lakes. And for the first ever senior prom, it's safe to say that this event is going to be sticking around and creating bigger and better things for the future. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Thank you, Jake. It's a great time of year for seniors, both young and wiser, as they take time to celebrate the good moments of life. We will continuously cover these great stories and share them with you as well. Women Who Thrive, the Power of Networking is a free and inspiring event designed to empower women and celebrate their professional successes through meaningful connections and collaboration. We actually spoke with Laura Geftos, Program and Events Director for the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and Sari Garcia, Global Resource Program Manager for Oakland Thrive, to learn a little bit more about the special event.
Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, happy to have you on to talk about this. It's coming up in just a couple of weeks. It's going to be a great panel discussion on women in business in our community, how they've sort of built their success here in Greater West Bloomfield and beyond, and the power of networking all in between. So I do want to begin with you, Sari, on this. What inspired bringing Women Who Thrive back to West Bloomfield for now a second consecutive year at the library to essentially continue this conversation with our local business community and more?
So we are really excited to have it. This is the second year that we do Women Who Thrive. The first time we did it in Southfield. So we choose West Bloomfield because it's a great area to do it. We wanted to do it in Oakland County, and we think that West Bloomfield is really diverse. It's growing, and small business owners are there. So we really wanted to collaborate with West Bloomfield Library to do it in there, and we're making an impact. We have a consultant in that area, and it's amazing. We want to continue collaborating and impacting the community there.
And local chambers play a big role in that as well. We're also joined by Laura Geftos, the Program and Events Director at the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who's partnering with Oakland Thrive to put on this event, along with the Great Lakes Women's Business Council. How important, Laura, would you say partnership is in establishing these relationships that lead to really interesting and collaborative conversations like we're going to see in a couple weeks at the library?
Are truly invaluable, honestly. When you find a like-minded organization that does a lot of similar things like you, I'm always about the idea of making things grander and bigger. So we don't really see each other as a competition, but we see each other as an opportunity to grow and make things larger. So when we had the conversation and the idea really came about with Saidi, specifically, it was at the end at one of our galas, and we were really in the hallway just speaking vulnerably about some challenges we were having. And I was like, you know what? These are challenges all women are having in every single industry. Why don't we talk about it? And that's how this idea came aboard with Saidi. So thank you. I'm so forever grateful for her to taking me up on this idea. And then we spoke with Shelley Highlands with the Great Lakes Women's Business Council, who is truly another great ambassador of what we do with the Great Lakes. So just ideas like that and making it bigger and spreading the word and touching all communities, right? Not just one, to say, hey, we're all in this together. Let's talk about it and let's do it together. So it's truly invaluable.
And Saturday had mentioned last year's event being in Southfield. This year, you're bringing it to West Bloomfield. Laura, I wanted to stick with you. From a chamber's point of view, what opportunities does a community that is so diverse like Greater West Bloomfield bring to women who are looking to start that business and build that project that's been a passion project for them for years? What makes it, this community particularly, somewhere that is great for them to start that idea, bring that to ideation, and ultimately thrive early on as they build their business?
I know that's a great question. And West Bloomfield is such a diverse community. It's so many small businesses and thriving small businesses, right? So bringing a panel like this or an idea like this to a community that's already thriving and, still has its challenges, and we're here to help along with those, but to kind of partner with other communities and bring them to this one community to say, hey, what are you all doing right? And we're kind of doing this, and let's talk about it. And again, even if it's a similar business, doing that benchmarking of what are you doing right? What am I doing wrong, or what are you doing right that maybe I could try? So really developing those relationships with a community that's so open to it is a great opportunity to bring that on board for West Bloomfield. So we're very grateful that the library was available to us and that the community has sold out our events so quickly. So we're very excited.
The event happening Thursday, May 29th, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Township Main Library, 4600 Walnut Lake Road. Easy to find, right next door to us at the Town Hall Complex here in West Bloomfield Township. A really compelling panel going to be discussing women in business. Vanessa Palermo, the CEO of LaSalle Construction Services. Rashida Camario Williams, founder of Inspired Life Professionals, will be there. Brenda Rios, director at Ally Financial, Erica White from Ford Motor Company, and even Amanda Sweet, a creative fairy godmother. Interesting concept there. You'll have to take a look by joining at this event on Thursday, May 29th, to find out even more about that. Sadly, last year the event was in Southfield. It obviously had such great success that you wanted to continue it and bring it to different areas of Oakland County in the future, beginning this year with West Bloomfield being the home of this event. So from last year, was there a moment that stood out to you as particularly powerful that sort of speaks to why it's important to have this sort of become an annual tradition here in Oakland County?
Of course, I think we're making an impact. We're helping one another.
Sorry, my apologies for interrupting. It appears we're having an issue with your mic on our side. We're going to take care of that for a moment. So I'm just going to stall here for a brief moment so we can pull you out of our main session and work with you on that. In the meantime, Laura, we'll stick with you here. What advice would you give to local women, especially those who are beginning their entrepreneurial journey, if they are either starting their business now or maybe they're attending something like this, networking with other women in business and trying to learn more? What do you think is a good piece of advice for them to start with as they begin their journey?
Yeah, no, another great question, and one that's so relevant for this type of event. One big piece of advice is find a mentor, right? Find a mentor who you feel comfortable with, who you admire. And so that way you always have someone to call, right? You always have somebody to go to and say, these are the challenges I'm having, or what do you think? I'm thinking of making this big career move. And that's one thing that's so important with this event and one thing that was really impactful for me in the year prior is that we had so many generations in one room, and we really had students speaking to older retired entrepreneurs and talking to each other and really being vulnerable with the conversation. So that's why we think this is so important. And that's one big piece of advice is don't keep it to yourself. Speak to people like us. If you don't necessarily have a mentor, go to the organizations like these that we're happy to help. It may be very intimidating when you're first starting, but it doesn't have to be. There's always somebody willing to help. And that's what's great part of this community of women and our allies, right? It's not just women, it's everybody that supports us and wants to learn along with us. So find a mentor that you feel comfortable with, and that'll take you a very long way.
More information on Women Who Thrive, the Power of Networking, coming to the West Bloomfield Township Public Library and other events all throughout the spring and summer at the main library and the West Acres branch, can be found on Facebook at West Bloom LIB and on their website at wblib.org. Joining us on the Splash Live, Laura Geftos from the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Siley Garcia from Oakland Thrive as we preview this event coming up. Siley, it seems that we've taken care of our technical difficulties from earlier on. Sorry for interrupting you. I do want to go back to that, talking about last year's event, sort of a great kickoff for this that's turned it into an annual tradition. What was a moment from that you believe was particularly powerful and inspired you and others partnering to want to bring this event back in 2025 and bring it here to West Bloomfield?
I think collaboration and partnership, it's the key. We are in the same boat. We are, small business owners. We're a woman. We are a community that needs the power of connections. So I think, people are still talking about last year's event. We made an impact with the community and the small business owners. And we would like to continue doing the same thing, partnering, doing events, collaborating, having one other, helping one other. And, just at the end of the day, just helping one another. We are humans. We are small business owners. We're women. This event, it's open to the public, but we want to encourage women to be better every day and collaborating with others. So I think the key note and the takeaway, it's collaborating and partnering with other women to support one another.
Sadri, in your conversation with these business owners, particularly women in business, and those that maybe are in more heavily affected communities and growing businesses like minority communities, what do you think that, from your conversations with them, that they did take away, and what impact these sort of conversations, this networking opportunity had for them as they pursue their dreams in business?
So I think at the end of the day, you never know who you are going to meet in this type of events, right? So maybe the person that is sitting next to you, it's the person that you need to continue doing business. You never know if that person is going to know someone that it's going to help your business, that it's going to make your business grow. That's why we will believe about the power of connections. And we said, put yourself out there as a business owner. We know that it's really hard to attend every single event. But I think, putting yourself out there, knowing that there is someone that could help your business, it's really impactful. And we are here to help one another as an organization. We have a lot of events, workshops, trainings, networking events, and we do these for our community and for small business owners because we know how important it is, besides your business, to collaborate with others and do your networking.
More information on this event and other things happening with the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce can be found on mhcc.org, and Oakland Thrive can be found on oaklandthrive.com. Laura Geftos, Siley Garcia joining me on the Splash Live, previewing Women Who Thrive, the Power of Networking, coming to West Bloomfield Thursday, May 29th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Siley, we want to give you one final opportunity. Anything else that we haven't spoken about today, or any final messages you'd like to give to the community as they get ready for this event on May 29th?
I would like to say, don't be afraid of showing up to events. You are not alone. We are trying to build a great community, and you are going to get a chance to talk with amazing people and takeaways. Just talk to the person that it's next to you. Like maybe that person is afraid to talk as well. So we never know when are we going to meet the right person, and everything it's about, as I said before, collaboration and partnership. So I truly, I want to encourage you to attend this type of events because it's really important for yourself professionally and personally. I think it's amazing. So we're looking forward to see you there on May 29th.
And Laura, same question to you. Any lasting message for women who are business owners as we speak, maybe have some ideas that they have had some struggles getting those first steps made? Any lasting message for them as maybe they prepare to come out on May 29th?
Yeah, just to know that there are these kinds of resources available to them, right? With the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, you do not have to be Hispanic or women-owned to be a part of the chamber. We have small entrepreneurs all the way to corporates that are part of our chamber. So just reach out to us and see how we can help you, right? Come to our networking events. We have a slew of workshops that are available with other organizations. So look at our calendars, see what's relevant to you. Call us, ask us the questions. And you never know who's going to be next to you, like Saidi mentioned, at these type of events. So reach out to us for any more resources. We're happy to help.
mhcc.org for the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, oaklandthrive.org for more information on Oakland Thrive. Laura Geftos, Saidi Garcia, thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you so much
for having us.
To learn more about the event excuse me, or the organizations involved in the Women Who Thrive event, which will be happening tomorrow, Thursday, May 29th, at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Visit oaklandthrive.com or go to mhcc.com for more as well. Mindset Trio will perform live at Marshbank Park in West Bloomfield Township on Wednesday, June 25th from 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. during an early Independence Day picnic celebration. I actually spoke with vocalist and percussionist from Mindset Trio, Chris Kaposia, to tell us about this local band and performing for the residents of West Bloomfield. Thank you for being here, sir.
Yes, thank you, Kevin. Pleasure.
Yes, so I'm very, very interested as someone who considers himself a creative himself. I want to talk about your band before we get into this event. So, Mindset Trio, how did this band form, first and foremost?
Well, my brother-in-law and I, Kevin, my brother-in-law, have been kind of hobby musicians for many years. And I on the drums and Ken on the rhythm guitar. Playing together informally, we put our heads together and said, "Hey, we need some more. We need a little more juice here. We need some good lead guitar riffs and somebody to carry the melody." So we went on Craigslist musician page and we got a hold of Mr. Brian Pearson, and we lucked out because Brian is a professional musician, head of music at South Lyon Schools. He's been with us for the last 2 years, and we have a trio now, and we're rocking now.
Wow, okay, Craigslist musician pay. I never even knew that existed, but there you go, using your resources to find what you need right there. So let's get into the actual name, right? Mindset Trio. Where did this name come from?
Interesting story. So we were kicking around some ideas for names, and nothing really clicked. And in practice one day, the three of us had George Harrison's "Got My Mind Set on You" up to play just for the fun of it. And wait a second, we thought, "Got my mind set on you, mindset. Well, that sounds cool. There you go.
Yeah.
Mindset."
I love it. It seems so organic, and that's, we'd be surprised how a lot of, the brand names that we know and love come together. And, that's just one of those beautiful stories.
Yeah.
I love that. So with that being said, how does mindset, that idea, shape how you and your bandmates approach music and performing in local community spaces?
Well, there's a story there. Our motto is mindset is everything. And what we mean by that is if you can think it, you can make it happen. And so that's been the story of our band. We have this little idea and we put three guys together and made it happen. It's really been the story of my life in many ways. And I think just playing in the community, we dream up these events and we get folks together and we make inquiries and send emails and make phone calls, and all of a sudden it's there, it's happened.
Yeah.
So that's the story of mindset. We're just making these things happen as we go.
And like I said, it seems organic, seems like it's just coming together just naturally without even being forced as well. And that's a true definition of art too, by the way. I love that. So with me right here, by the way, on the Splash Live, Mindset Trio's vocalist and percussionist Chris Kaposia, talking about their upcoming event that'll be happening at Marshbank Park Wednesday, June 25th, 12 noon, 1:30 p.m., the Independence Day picnic celebration. So I want to get into this actual celebration then, right? Like the why of it, you and your group performing. What does it mean to you and your bandmates to perform at Marshbank Park in front of a local crowd here in West Bloomfield?
Well, it's an honor and it's just a lot of fun. And of course, we're commemorating Independence Day. I think we're going to have mainly a senior group, so it's always fun to perform for the seniors in our community. It's open to everybody, I understand, but music, as you know, brings folks together. It's a universal language. We're going to be playing tunes from eclectic tunes, pop, rock, country, classic to modern. So it just should be fun. It's a great way to get folks together and enjoying the outdoors and singing along.
And I'm glad you just brought that up because I was looking at my notes and I said, rock, country, pop, you do all these different genres. How? And then with that being said, how do you choose? How do you pick the right set list, the right mix of songs for a community event like this?
Well, we look at the demographics, obviously. So in this event, we got a lot of seniors, which is great. So we're going to play a lot of classic stuff that they will know and love. I'm kind of in that group, so we're going to be playing Beatles. We're going to be playing Beach Boys. You name it, from the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. We're going to throw in a few ringers there from Jelly Roll to make it interesting. But yeah, it's just we tailor the set to our audience, basically.
And it makes sense, right? You don't want to play something that nobody's familiar with, nobody can relate to, type of thing.
Exactly.
So that makes so much more sense, and I love that too. So we're talking about a unique event being outside. We just celebrating Independence Day a little bit early, anticipating great weather there as well. But as the group's percussionist and vocalist, how do you personally plan to bring that energy and rhythm to this outdoor show?
Well, the tunes we play, folks know and they love. So that's right off the bat, we're on good footing because when folks know these tunes, we get the vibe from them and it transmits to us. I lay just a tight groove down with the percussion and with people singing along and tapping their feet. It just all blends together. So we do half of the work, but I think the audience really does most of the work.
You said it.
In this kind of setting.
And I was anticipating you saying something like that. As an artist, you feed off that energy you get from the audience. You go off that, they're hyped, they love it, they're screaming. That energy is received through you, and you just turn up. After that,
Exactly.
that was spoken like a true artist, Chris. I loved it. So let's explore something else that you talked about earlier, right? You said you and Ken initially were together. That's your brother-in-law, if I'm not mistaken. And then you said you all found Brian. So can you just describe the dynamic between you, Brian, and Ken, or just talk about the chemistry and how that affects your live performance?
So as musicians, we all have our little jobs to do. I just lay down a groove. Hopefully it's tight, and I keep the band on time. I don't do anything real flashy. Sometimes I do. But then Ken is the rhythm guitar, so it's the underlying rhythm of the tune that just carries forward. And Brian adds a little magic with his riffs and lead to add melody and interest. So the three of us, with all our little jobs, just make it work together and blend it together. That's how we keep it tight and interesting.
That's how it's supposed to be. Man, I love that. And I'm looking forward to it as well. With me right here, live on The Splash, by the way, from Mindset Trio, a local band, we have the vocalist and percussionist, Chris Kaposia, just talking about that upcoming event, June 25th, Marshbank Park, right here in West Bloomfield, 12 to 1:30 p.m., an early Independence Day celebration, picnic style, as a matter of fact. Just to ask you real quick, Chris, I just thought about this. What's one moment during a performance that you can recall where you really felt a connection with the audience, maybe even specifically in West Bloomfield?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, in West Bloomfield, we played the Connect Center. This was back in the fall, at 14 and Drake there. And when folks start getting up to dance and tap their feet and sing along, that's when you know you've made the connection. And fortunately for us, it doesn't take too long for that to happen. But we know we've done good work when that happens.
Yeah. Hey, something I just thought about. I love having this organic conversation, this real conversation with you, Chris, because now a few things popped in my head. One, very briefly, what got you started and interested in music as a musician in general?
I started in grade school as a kid, 12, 13 years old, on the drums. And, that was the Beatle era where everybody wanted to play rock and roll. And so that goes back a few years. But I put it aside for a number of years, came back, put it aside. And now, as I'm semi-retired, I have more time and have devoted more time and energy to it. it's just been a love for me from way back. And the same with Ken and Brian, certainly, who's more of the professional musician.
Man, Chris, man, I'm so glad you said that. I have a creative project that I do, and I get to it, then I take away from it, and I get to it, and I kind of go, you get back to life, back to reality, and it takes you away from it. But that just speaks to the fact that was your passion. That is your true passion that you just can't even run away from. You always went back to it, man. Love
and
that.
Whatever you're doing, Kevin, don't give it up. You may put it aside for a while, but you're going to love it later on when you can pick it up again.
Man, that's a whole fact, Chris. Hey, one last thing before I let you go, or maybe just a few things. Why do you think events like this, where local musicians can play in these local areas, are important for building that strong, connected community? You spoke on it briefly.
Yeah, well, it's nice when we know our neighbors and our neighbors know us, and we can play where we live and work and travel. I live in Farmington Hills, but I have relatives in West Bloomfield. I come and go all the time. We play at the Connect Center. Yeah. So it's just a great way for folks to know us, for us to know the folks in the community, and to tie it all together with the love of music.
Well said, well said. Before I let you go, give out the details of that event again, the who, what, where, when, why, if people need to register, if it's free, if they need to bring anything, please do so.
Okay, some things I don't know for sure. It's June 25th at the Marshbank Park. I don't think there's a charge. I think there will be some foods and drinks provided, but not 100% sure. Folks would probably be best to contact West Bloomfield Senior Services to know for sure. But the time is right, 12 to 1:30, June 25th, Independence Day celebration, open to all. Hope we have a good weather at Marshbank Park.
Come on out, support our local band right here, making some great music, great vibes for the summer. Hey, Chris, we want to thank you again for your time, your information, and for the vibes that you bring to our area. Vocalist and percussionist from Mindset Trio, Mr. Chris Composure. Thank you again.
Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate it.
Attorney by day and a rock star by night, leaving us with a great message to resonate with anyone who has a passion outside of their full-time possession. Never give up, it's never too late, and never say never. Starting now, at least. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate that motivation. Fire Chief of West Bloomfield has been named the 2025 Fire Chief of the Year by the Michigan Association of Fire Chiefs, MAFC. This prestigious award recognizes Chief Greg Flynn's outstanding leadership, dedication, and contributions to the fire service. We actually spoke with Chief Flynn to get his reaction to receive.
Greg, thank you so much for joining us, and big congratulations on the award.
Oh, Jake, well, thank you very much. It's good to be with you here at the Midwest Fire Rescue Expo here in Novi, Michigan.
Wow, a lot of big stuff going on behind you. Really interested in getting into this. Chief Flynn, how did you feel when you first learned that you were selected as the 2025 Fire Chief of the Year by the Michigan Association of Fire Chiefs?
It's very much a high honor and very humbled to be recognized by your peers across the state in the fire chief position, executive officer positions, to receive the Chief of the Year award. So I'm thrilled. I was very surprised. I did an excellent job of keeping this well undercover. And it really is. It's a very high point in my professional career. And Jake, I think it's really important to realize that when an award like this is given to a fire chief or a police chief or one of our department heads in the township, it's a reflection on West Bloomfield Township. It's a reflection on the community that puts their support specifically here behind the fire department, and the team at the WBFD, the leadership team that goes out every single day, the boots on the ground that are the real success stories in the community of West Bloomfield, Ego, Sylvan, and Orchard. It really is an honor to serve as the fire chief in those four communities, and even a larger honor to work with the men and women of the WBFD.
You are absolutely right. You just hit the nail on the head. It is a great showcase of everything that the West Bloomfield Township has accomplished, and that's all thanks to your leadership. And you've been recognized for your innovative approach to fire safety. What are some of the key programs or strategies you've implemented that you're most proud of?
I think the big thing that we've really worked on over really the last 11 or so years as the fire chief and with the entire team and the chiefs and folks before at the WBFD that have laid the ground, the framework, the foundation. We are today engaging at a level with the community that I really think we haven't seen before. This new initiative of the fire club at the high school and partnering with the school district. Our engagement with civic groups like the Optimist Club and doing the Holiday Happiness now year after year, and just helping people to recognize that the fire department is bigger than just fire prevention and fire suppression. The scope of work and our integration in the community is vast, and we make an impact. And I think that's what's important, is that we continue to make that impact and that the residents feel that value and the pride that comes with having a WBFD truck in the station or even on their street when the time is in their time of need.
Such great programs that are making a huge impact all throughout Greater West Bloomfield, and all have played such a big role in getting you this Fire Chief of the Year award. But that's not the only award you've recently taken home, because recently you and your fire station received a major honor at the recent Michigan Week celebrations as well, winning the Dr. Seymour Gretschko Youth Advocate Award. How has that feeling felt on top of winning this award?
It really is, again, a great sense of pride. That award, for those of us that are very familiar with Michigan Week, that is a very, very high honor. And again, the gratitude to the team at the WBFD that every single day is out there making those engagements meaningful, opening our doors and saying, what does a career look like in the fire service? And come on in and take a tour. And that's for anybody that's exploring that. Or if you have a question, how can we help connect you? If the WBFD isn't the right place, how can we help connect you with where we think that you would be a good fit and would be a good fit for you? So this change in attitude and approach to community service through public safety, I think really we are firing on all cylinders at the WBFD. The township elected officials are behind us. The community's behind us. The team that's doing it feels the momentum. And it really is a great day to be part of the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department.
I'd imagine so, and you're certainly right. Everyone in the West Bloomfield community is behind you, Greg. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm speaking with West Bloomfield Fire Chief Greg Flynn on his recent award for Fire Chief of the Year at the 2025 Michigan Association of Fire Chiefs. Now, Greg, how would you say that your training has influenced the way you manage your department and respond to community needs? Because that's played a big role in getting you this award.
Well, it's a great segue to where I am right now. All day yesterday, there were speakers from across the country that came into the conference center here in Novi. And that's exactly what we were doing, is engaging with colleagues across the Great Mitten States, but also with colleagues from across the country that are coming in, sharing best practices, sharing innovative ideas that we can use right here in Michigan, but also this collaboration piece, how we can work together. And that's the type of training, education, professional development, Jake, that's going to produce results for West Bloomfield. Behind me here, all of the equipment, the state-of-the-art in apparatus, in patient care, in fire suppression, in protection, personal protection equipment for our firefighters. It's here, and it's here with an engaged group of professionals and our volunteers that protect the communities that we live in and the communities that we visit through the summer or through the winter as we travel around the great state of Michigan. So that's how the training has really shaped this. The relationship is where I guess I would leave the response to this question is, the relationships that have been forged over my time with the MAFC and within the fire service have really created these outcomes. And I think really set me up for the opportunity, and I'm very humbled to receive this award and continue to collaborate at a local, regional, state, and federal level for the community of West Bloomfield and communities all across Michigan.
Well said, Greg, and you're absolutely right. Those relationships are very important. And speaking of relationships, obviously you couldn't have gotten there alone. You've credited much of your success to teamwork. What role has your team played in achieving this milestone?
Boy, the gratitude that I have for them and the pride that I take in hearing people talk about, let's look to how West Bloomfield's doing that. That is not the fire chief. That is the team of people that, again, make the day-to-day operations happen. And that's everything from our office staff and our folks at Town Hall, making sure that benefits are there for our employees and the pay is there, to our training programs, to our different initiatives for engagement, our fire prevention, our investigation. All of it, Jake, plays into that. And when we empower our people and create a culture that is supportive of giving them space to be successful, be innovative in their own way, this is the synergy and the energy that comes from being part of the WBFD. And that's really what I hope the legacy is. A legacy that will live on is that you come to the WBFD for a love of service. There's teamwork there, and also the professional pride that comes with being a firefighter, paramedic. And what a great place, West Bloomfield Township, to come and do that for a career, and all the opportunities that will open up for firefighters even well after I'm gone.
I love hearing that, Greg, and you should be very, very proud of all of your success. I got one more quick question for you before we wrap things up. Now that you've received this prestigious recognition, what's next for you as a leader and public servant here in West Bloomfield?
To continue to connect and mentor with the future of the fire service. You know, and I couple that with to continue to professionally develop myself. There's so much to still learn with how we manage people. And that's what I do in my role, that kind of leadership, management, participation within the organization, and empowering those individuals that are out actively doing and providing the services that we have in West Bloomfield. And even thinking broader than that, but seeing that kind of professional development and growth within our organization gives me great confidence and assurance that the future of the WBFD is strong because of the people that make up the WBFD today. And the community should take great pride in that, and our elected officials should take pride in that, because it's their support that has set us up for that success.
And you can see that success everywhere you look, all throughout Greater West Bloomfield. Greg, thank you so much once again for joining us here on the Splash Live. And once again, congratulations on all of your work.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to Chief Greg Flynn on his recognition, and thank you for all that you do for Civic Center TV and Greater West Bloomfield as a community. School nurses create a great environment for our local kids in school districts, and we had a time to actually thank some nurses, and we do have that on our website, civiccentertv.com. Click on the on-demand tab to check out one of our latest interviews with a consultant for a school nurse in Oakland schools. Ron Acho has been honored by the Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce as their Business Person of the Year, celebrating over 50 years of commitment and service. He actually joined us right here on the Splash Live to share what this honor means to him and the unique challenges he faced along the way.
Ron, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, but that opening was kind of took my breath away.
Well, absolutely. You've done such great work throughout the community. Congratulations on being named Business Person of the Year. How did you feel when you first received the news of this recognition?
Well, truthfully, I was stunned. I even turned it down because, number one, I'm not a business person, and two, I don't think I'm worthy of that honor because there's so many others that are way more accomplished than I am. But I was very elated that they thought to award me that award.
Well, you certainly deserve it through all of the hard work that you've done throughout both the Chaldean and Michigan business communities. What have been the most rewarding aspects of serving these communities?
Well, to me, being an attorney is like ministering. The highest professions, I mean, there are so many, but I think medicine and religious ministry and law is right up there, because when people come to you, they come to you with issues and problems. And the gratification comes, Jake, when people come to you with a problem and then you can help them with it. And then when you see them succeed and flourish and you had a small part in it, then that's where the gratification comes.
I'd imagine so. And with working for over 51 years in this field, I'm sure that there have been a lot of different cases and projects that you've worked on in that time period. Is there a particularly meaningful one that still stands out to you today?
Well, you are correct, Jake, that there have been quite a few, but the one that I have to always go back to shows how God works and how miracles do exist. Because you couldn't script what I'm going to tell you, okay? About 48 years ago, an elderly African-American man came to see me. And he said, Mr. Atcho, you were recommended to me. I want you to appeal the denial of my Social Security benefits. I said, okay. I said, what's your disability? He said, I don't have one. I said, what? He said, no, I'm not disabled. He said, I have a claw for a left hand, but I've worked for years and I'm not disabled. I said, well, I can't get you workers' compensation, or unemployment. I got confused. Social Security disability. I said, because you have to be totally and permanently disabled. He said, Mr. Atcho, he says, but I need the money. I said, but I can't help you. You're not disabled. He said, well, please take the case. I said, okay, but let me ask you this. How come you're not working? He said, well, I was working at this company for 25 years and they closed the plant. I said, well, why don't you get another job? He said, Mr. Atcho, look at me. I'm old, I'm black, I have a claw for a hand. Who's going to hire me? He said, don't you think I've tried? I said, I felt sorry for him. I said, okay, I'll file, but we're not going to win. He said, thank you. So a few months go by, we get a notice of a hearing. And back in those days, Jake, they had visiting judges. And this judge was coming in from Louisiana. So I said, oh, great. I called my client. I said, listen, I got more bad news. We got a judge from Louisiana. He's probably old, white, and racist. We have no chance to win, none. He said, Mr. Atcho, you've already told me, I understand, but please keep the case. And again, it's not a contingency, so I wasn't charging him. And so I figured I'm doing this, as an act of charity. Here's what happened. We go to the hearing and we go into a conference room. Sure enough, the judge is sitting there. He's older and he's white. He has a claw for a left hand.
Really?
My client didn't even sit down. Catch this. The judge said, where'd that happen? The war. Yeah, me too. What branch? Army. Yeah, me too. What unit? 82nd Airborne. Yeah, me too. Where did it happen? Battle of the Bulge. Yeah, me too. Sit down. Now, Jake, these hearings take an hour and a half to 2 hours of the judge questioning the witness. He asked him, are you disabled? Yeah. Okay. He said, do you have any questions, counsel? Now, I was a young attorney, and what the heck? What kind of record? He just asked him, are you disabled? There's no record. Counsel, do you have any questions? I was all intimidated. I said, no, decisions take 30 to 45 days. He says to my client, you have a decision tomorrow. And we won.
Wow, that is crazy. Like I was hanging on every single word. That is truly one of those serendipitous moments that you can't really explain. And I completely understand how that has stood out in your mind for the past, did you say 48 years ago that happened?
Yeah. I mean, it's like it was yesterday. He was sitting right there. And I was telling him, you have no chance, because, you don't want to give clients a false hope or expectation. He was a good, decent man who was black, and nobody would hire him. And his only hope was some miracle. And there it was. I mean, in all my career, I've never seen anything. I've had a lot of interesting things happen, but nothing that can top that. Nothing.
I completely understand. That is such a big moment that has absolutely stood the test of time and has stood out in your mind throughout your 50 years of dedicated service. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Ron Acho, who was just recognized by the Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce and was named their Business Person of the Year for 2025. And Ron, mentorship is often critical to long-term success. Have you used your experience to mentor some younger attorneys? And what advice do you most often share with them?
Well, first of all, I have had the privilege of mentoring a lot of people, especially law clerks, law students, and people who want to become attorneys. And what I tell them is that, first of all, go into the field or whatever you're going to do so that you enjoy it, so that you like doing whatever you do. The second thing I tell people, young people, be the best. Be absolutely the best. Now, in reality, are they always going to be the best? Maybe not. But if they strive to be the best, they will ultimately be successful. Plus, there's a saying that I've had that I tell some people, not everyone. Work as if everything depends on you, and pray as everything depends on God. Work as if everything depends on you, and pray as if everything depends on God. And you know what? It served me well for all these years.
Clearly it has. That's why you're sitting here today, and that's why you've won this incredible award. And I'd imagine it'd be difficult to get to this point alone. I'm sure that your family and your close community has played a big role in helping you get to where you are right now. What role has your family and community played in your professional journey and achievements?
Well, you're absolutely right, Jake. The reality is, if I didn't have my wife, Rita, which I always say is my greatest accomplishment, marrying her, she gave up her career so I could advance my career. She's the one that raised our children. She was there so many days when I wasn't, nights or trips, whatever I had to go. So she was my strength. And without her, this would never be possible. The other thing is, you really don't succeed in life by yourself. It's not possible. The most successful people I've ever seen have always said that they hire people smarter than they are. So when you have people who are very supportive and who work hard, like I acknowledge my staff on May 1st, I said they work hard every single day to make me look good. And we've been around the firm 60 years. That's not by accident. That's because you hire people that are good people, then you try to reward them as best as you can. And we don't pay the most, but the thing that I like the most, 5 of our lawyers became judges. And we do lose attorneys from time to time, but 1 out of every 3 attorneys over the years that have left, they've asked to come back.
Well, that just says a lot about your firm and about what you offer to all of these people. And Ron, having won this award, what are your hopes and goals moving forward, both for your practice and your contributions to the community?
Well, my hope is I can still offer advice. At the stage of my career, a lot of what I do is strategic, advisory, counseling. And one of the benefits I've had, I've represented some very successful, very smart people. And you learn from them. Like Mike George, who is a legend in the Chaldean community. He was not only a friend, but a mentor. He was exceptionally smart. So when you sit around with people like that, you learn from them. And when you've done so many cases I've had over the years, over 8,000, that it's not you become smarter, but you have more knowledge, you have more experience. And you try to impart that to others who have questions or issues. And most of the time you can help them get through things. And it's important too, because sometimes it involves families that call you regarding their children, their spouses, and they ask for help. And it's one of the things I read in the National Geographic about 30, 40 years ago. They interviewed the justice of an Indian Supreme Court, and he was from the Untouchables. And they asked him, what is your greatest achievement? He said, my greatest achievement is when a man comes to me crying for justice, and I wipe away his tears by getting him justice.
Those are some very powerful words, and it's great to hear of all of the plans that you have moving forward and everything that you've brought to the community. Ron, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on the Splash Live. Before I let you go, is there any final words you'd like to offer in terms of advice for people who look to be successful in business or law or whatever they choose to do?
Well, again, it's like my father would say, be a good person, raise a good family, and help other people. We're brought on this earth for only a short period of time, and we want to make a difference. And it isn't how much money you're going to make. Really, honestly, that doesn't make you happy. Many rich people are not happy. But if you can help people in need, and you make a difference in people's lives, even if it's one person a day, even if it's complimenting a waitress or someone that you see how they look, if you can make a difference in someone's life each day, then you've been successful.
I love that. Such very simple things any person can do every day to feel successful, and you have been successful for the last 50 years and beyond. Ron, thank you so much for joining us here on the Splash Live.
Thank you. You're a great interviewer. Thank you for your compliments. God bless.
Thank you again to Jake for that story, and Ron Acho, congratulations again for his acknowledgement. And thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV. I've been your host, Kevin McIntosh, per usual. We are live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.